We are back with another video. We're going to be reacting to SmackDown and Raw. I have Courtney back. Yay, Canary.
Hello.
Y'all, I don't know if Leonard's coming back. I don't know. I try to keep up with him. I don't know if he's coming back. We'll have to see on that. I'll keep you guys updated. First, we're going to start with SmackDown, though. We're going to do Bloodline. We had the tag teams. What else? Naomi and Tiffany. I think we're going to react to Naomi and Tiffany since they had a real match. It was long and it was nice, and I'm excited about that. But let's start with Bloodline first. What is going on with Bloodline? What is happening? What are your theories, Court?
So I've been a firm believer of this from the very beginning. And even Roman confirmed it in his documentary when he was talking about it. The bloodline is the walking embodiment of what House Targaryen was in Game of Thrones. They were one of the top families, one of the biggest families, one of the biggest bloodlines. And the only way that it kind of fell apart was through the inside. And we're slowly seeing that happen now because we're seeing the power shift between Roman now being absent for a little bit, much needed time off. And then we're seeing Solo kind of take over that role. He's been silent for so long, so seeing him in this form I almost expected it, but it's a lot better than what I thought. And then adding Tamatoga to the mix, that I didn't expect that at all whatsoever. So I was like texting back and forth with my mom. I was like, oh my God, it's Tamatoga.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who that was. I had to like wait and let Twitter inform me. I had to let Twitter inform me because I was like, who is this guy and what's going on? And then, a lot of theories out there is that, Solo's crew, that side of the family is going to get together and they're going to become like the new bloodline. And then the old bloodline, Roman and Jay and Jimmy are going to get back together. I would love to see that. I don't care. I would love to see Jay and Jimmy again as brothers and on the same team and on the same side. So I would love to see them get back together and then have them go against each other. I don't know how The Rock plays a part in this. I feel like he would be a part of the new bloodline or something and go against Roman. Oh my God. The Civil War. It's like the bloodline Civil War.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Having the bloodline Civil War is probably one of the greatest things they could do on TV because it draws so much. Just when Jay was leaving, that whole like power shift from being under Roman's thumb to fighting back and it turning into a civil war. I was like, wow, this is going to be great. Like this storyline, not to cause any controversy, but it was kind of getting boring towards the end of it. So now having this like power shift and civil war starting to like brew between all of them, it's really interesting to see because it makes you want to tune in week after week. And it's like, well, who's going to be on top this week? Is it going to be the old bloodline or is it going to be the new one?
Yeah. And I hope it's the old one. I hope it's my tribal chief Roman Reigns. But I don't know. The new bloodline might conquer for a little bit if they want to like make it interesting. Maybe give it to them for a short while and make Roman Reigns kind of work his way back up. I'd love to see it. Anything to get my man's back in the show, okay? I don't care how he comes back in the show. I just want him back. I want to see him again. I want to see him more often. Maybe we will, if, this story kind of picks up in the way that we're expecting type of thing. But all right, what about the tag team? So I know it was Bianca, Jade versus Piper and Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting dynamic there.
It is very an interesting dynamic, but I see why their tag team fits so well because you have Chelsea who's just kind of unhinged, and then you have Piper that kind of keeps her in line a little bit. So I like that. And I really do love the Bianca Jade team up because I love just the representation that they have. And I'm not sure what they're going to do with the big three, if they're going to keep them together or if they're going to kind of disband them a little bit. But the way that it looks, it's like they're having Naomi go against Bayley, which I think is great. And then you're having them now go for the tag titles, which I think is even better because, in my opinion, the women's tag division does not get enough recognition. There's so many great tag teams on there, and they don't get a lot of recognition. So now seeing all of these tag matches take place, it's great. And I loved the match, even though it was very short. I still loved it. And I like that they're showcasing Jade as this all-powerful superhero type thing.
Yeah. All I gotta say though is they better not start punking out my girl Bianca, because we all know that Bianca has taken on multiple opponents at one time. So to make it seem like she couldn't handle Piper and Chelsea, like, come on now. Like, that was a little. I was like, all right, don't do my girl like this. She can handle these two, you know. But I think you're right. The story is that they're trying to make Jade seem like the big bad, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and which is, I think, gonna fuel a little competition and fire between Jade and Bianca, because Bianca, you know, we know she's into the EST. She might get a little jealous. She might get a little upset that, you know, Jade is stealing this little spotlight from time to time. But it's funny that you think that Piper keeps, or that Piper keeps Chelsea in line, because I think it's the opposite. I feel like Chelsea keeps Piper from freaking out, from going hardcore on people. But they're an interesting, funny little duo. And they lasted longer in the match than, well, no, I won't say that. It was a short match. I will give them that. I feel like Chelsea could do more. That Chelsea could do more than what we think. She's not weak. I don't know why they try to make her seem like she's so weak, but she really isn't. She's actually really, really strong. And so is Piper. So it was okay. I wanted to see more, but I guess we'll just have to wait on that one. All right, Naomi and Tiffany, what did you think? I'm gonna actually pull up that video for us to react to. What did you think about that match?
I loved it just because you already had Naomi, who was already pissed off prior to her entering the ring because of what happened to Jimmy. So a lot of people are like, I don't get why she's so mad. I don't understand, like, why she came out there and, like, why she looked mad. Okay, well, you got to understand her husband literally just got jumped by his brother. So she was already upset. And then you have Tiffany coming in. And it's like, nope, this is my spot. I deserve the title shot. When Bayley didn't even offer it to her, it was offered to Naomi first. But I do like that they're still having her go about this I'm on top type Tiffany. But I love that Naomi is getting that title shot, which she deserves.
Yeah. And I'm happy that they, you know, pushed Naomi this time, because she was a champion when she came over. You know, she wasn't like this punk wrestler. You know, she was a champ. Okay, so she's strong, and she really is strong. Like, I don't know, like, why people don't think this, or have you seen her legs? Like, I don't know. Have you seen how high she can jump? Like, she's very, very strong, and that was actually a good matchup. They looked really good together, and I feel like they were equally matched in a lot of ways. But yeah, Tiffany definitely plays her role very, very well, because she frustrates me so bad. I get so mad when she comes up. It's the voice, it's the arrogance, you know, that really ticks me off. It really bugs me. And I'm like, she plays this role really, really well. But she's also really good on the mic. I love, like, she gets really into character, and she's just so comfortable. Like, it doesn't feel like she's nervous at all. Like, she was made to talk on a microphone for sure. But yeah, I loved the split jumps. I thought Tiffany was gonna win for a minute there.
That's why I'm kind of very torn on this one. Like, because I'm like, I love both of them so much. Like, I relate to either of them in, like, different ways. So seeing them go against each other, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I ain't gonna. For me, it was clear. I wanted Naomi to win. I used to be a Tiffany Stratton girly. Like, I don't know. I used to really, really like Tiffany Stratton, and then I don't know. They, like, her personality boosted 10 times when she moved to the main roster, and I'm just like, and I know it's just the character, but that version of a heel, oh my god, it irks me so bad. The privileged girl, like, valley girl, I can't. It's perfect. It is literally perfect, because it irritates me so bad, and it does what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I'm a Naomi girly when it comes to those two. I gotta go with Naomi.
I feel it.
All right, what about Raw? We had Chad, Sami, Indi Candace tag team, and the, you know, obviously the Rhea and Liv spectacle. I don't know what else to call it. Diabolical, you know, plot. I don't know. I have a lot of things to say about that, but let's start with Chad and Sami just to start it off. What did you feel about that match?
I love that match. They both gave like 110%. I really like that they're moving away from the statistic, like if they're in someone's hometown, they have to lose. I really like that they're moving away from that. And I like that they're showcasing Sami as strong, and they're now giving it the perfect heel turn for Chad. Because watching Sami get ripped out of his wife's arms last night, that I was like, oh, that had to have hurt on like a personal level. And then seeing him get dropped on the back of his neck, when I was watching that, I was going like this. I'm like, oh, this hurts to watch. Like I was like physically holding my neck because I was like, ah.
Oh yeah. For those that don't know, Court has neck issues. She just went through surgery, so any neck stuff is, sensitive topic.
Very much so.
Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, maybe not shocked, but I think they're trying to like shut us all up and say, "Ha ha, Sami won it. Leave him alone." And they're now starting to build more of a feud between those two. I just wonder how come we never got the Chad and Gunther thing, but I guess they're deading that storyline for right now. I feel like they're not going to pick that back up anytime soon. Right now, it's just about Sami and Chad. But it's definitely like that. You got, the teacher is the one that got beat by the student. Is definitely giving that vibe. I would hate to see Chad turn heel though. To me, I'm just like, why do they always have to make, the good people turn heel? Like, I know that's everyone like loves to see it, but for me, I'm like, there are just some characters that should stay face, and there are some characters that I think should stay heel. Like, that's just what it is. Why do they have to have these turns? But I think maybe because I'm newer, I'm like, I'm not ready for a turn. Like, what? Like, it's Chad. Chad is like such a good guy. I like the heroes, I like the good guys. So, whatever. I agree with you though. I think that's what they're trying to do. I actually missed the moment where he was pulled away from his wife, but I didn't miss that kick. I didn't miss the ending kick there. That was wild.
Now my question is if they're turning Chad heel, what does that mean for the rest of Alpha Academy? Does that mean that they all now have to turn heel? Because they're already built Maxine as this very strong babyface underdog. Like she learned from them, but at this point, what does that mean for Alpha Academy? If one turns, do they all turn? Or is it going to be like, if you guys don't get to my level, you're getting left behind type thing, which is kind of a constant that I'm seeing now in a lot of factions, in some tag teams even. Like, for example, Indi Candace, I like the way that they're writing it. Like, the good guys could only take so much before they snap type thing. So I do like that angle, but at the same time, it's like you guys had a perfect storyline going with Alpha Academy. They were the perfect babyface group. Even if they win, lose, or draw, they were such a strong group just in general. They pull a lot of audience, especially with Maxine, which I got to give her props for because she learns on the road. She trains on the road. Like, she does all of that. So now I'm very worried. Like, if they turn Gable heel, what are they going to do with Maxine and the rest of them? Because I don't want her just to be a mouthpiece anymore. She's shown that she can get in the ring. But as far as Chad, I think he does need the heel turn because we've seen him be good for just so long and take so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a newer watcher, so, I didn't see him that long be like this good person. But yeah, I could see how someone who's been watching for a longer time could feel like they want to see him do something different. But you're right. Like, there are just some factions that should stay face. And there's some factions that should be bad, right? You wouldn't see the Judgment Day being a face group ever. Or Bloodline might. The Bloodline maybe. They have a little bit more wiggle room, I feel like. But the Alpha Academy, that's like a comfort faction. You got to keep them good, Like, and then if we're, talking about Maxine, she has been showing, some signs of possibly turning with Ivy too. So there's a possibility there that they can become a little bit more corrupt, because they went through a lot of injustices. So I'd be interested in seeing that. I feel like they might do that actually. That's what they were hinting at with Maxine and her little black leotard, All right, so that's Indi and Candace. Everyone kept replaying back the moment where Indi and Candace, they were like, or I guess Indi went in for the high five and Candace ignored her or whatever. So they're still together though. I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't broken up yet.
that goes back to what I was saying before. Like, you saw Indi and Candace lose time after time, week after week, week after week. Now, I think in order for them to win, because they've shown as baby faces, they just cannot get the job done. Don't get me wrong. Don't take that out of context, people. Please do not take that out of context. They are amazing as faces, but I think they're even better as heels. Because when you had the evil poison pixie on NXT, I tuned in week after week after week because I was like, okay, what is she gonna mess up now? Like, who's she gonna get in between now? And even with the storyline with Dexter, when Indi met him and they got married, and that whole storyline, when I found out that Candace was the one that sent the flowers and did all of this, I was like, okay, Indi's definitely gonna turn on her, but she didn't. So last night when I saw her go for the high five and Candace just walked right past her, I think they're slowly hinting at Indi turning heel as well because she's been with Candace for so long, and Candace has that mentality, like I said before, either pick up the pace and get where I am or get left behind. And that's basically along the lines of what she said a couple weeks ago to her. She's like, you either start winning or you basically find another tag partner.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, I'm tired of losing now. All right, really quickly, let's talk about Chelsea Piper versus the Katana. Katana and what's her name?
Kaden.
Yes, Katana and Kaden really quickly, and then we'll talk about Rhea and Liv because I have to go in like 10 minutes. So really quickly, what did you think about, the match?
I loved that they made Piper and Chelsea look stronger in that match. However, I feel like at this point they might be splitting up Katana and Kaden because they've been together for so long. They moved from NXT's roster together and they got back together, but we don't see them a lot. So we see them being the good guys, but we've never really seen them be the bad guys. So I think in order for them to pick up more W's here, something's got to change with both of them.
Mm-hmm. It really stinks because I think that they are literally, to me, in my opinion, y'all, the best tag team, like for women. They actually have tag moves, okay, that they do together that are really intriguing and really difficult to accomplish. So for me, I feel like they might not be the strongest or tallest or biggest, but they're the craftiest and the most strategic. And I love seeing them work together to create these awesome, crazy moves together. And that's to me is what the tag team is about. Is about creating these weird moves that are coordinated with each other to give us this crazy experience. It's not so much about who's the biggest for me. To me, it's more like who can do the most tricks and moves and stuff and entertain the crowd. That's really what I look for in the tag team. So I just really like their moves together. They do stuff that I've never seen before. So to me, I'm just like, wow, that's really impressive. But yeah, Chelsea and Piper took it this time after the loss after, Jade and Bianca. So I'm guessing we're going to get either, that again, Jade and Bianca versus them again before maybe approaching the Kabuki Warriors, which I think it's going to be Jade and them.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I think it's going to be Jade and Bianca versus Kabuki Warriors. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. All right, let's hit it really quick. The Rhea and Liv controversy. I'm like already feeling nauseous about it. Like my stomach is turning and twisting. And I even woke up that day like feeling so sick and weird. I thought it was just because I was excited about seeing them fight. I thought we were going to actually get a match this time. But obviously we got worse news. Okay, so let's start us off here. I'll let you kind of take the lead.
So as far as the storyline goes, I think it's perfect. I love that they're writing Rhea's actual injury into like a storyline that it was Liv's fault. But what people don't understand is Rhea put herself to her limit in her Mania match with Becky. She pushed herself to her absolute limit, and she had already had a prior injury with her wrist. So we already knew that she was dealing with an injury. Calling for Liv Morgan to be fired, I think, is taking it a hell of a lot too far when people don't understand that Rhea literally put her on the shelf for 8 months. Literally tore her arm out of her socket, like her shoulder, if I'm not mistaken. So it makes sense that they're doing a shoulder for a shoulder, like for an eye type thing. However, I think people are taking it way too seriously. Like they're taking it personal. Like she did it to get back at her. Storyline wise, yes, that makes sense. But what people don't understand is they have to keep K-Fob online. They have to keep that going. So in the back of her head, Liv could feel really bad about what happened, but Triple H should be like, okay, I need you to push her into the wall. I need you to kick her into the wall so we can put her out for a little bit. But we don't know if that happened. We don't know what happens behind the scenes. So I like that they wrote it like this, but I think that we're going to see an even better unhinged version of Liv, because I hear speculation around her joining the new Wyatt family faction.
That's interesting. Well, I don't know what to say. Everyone knows, people were tagging me and stuff as if I would be so happy, like, that she got seriously hurt. Like, and I know in our last video, I was like, oh, I'm so happy that Liv is back and to the revenge tour. I'm so happy that it happened. And it just kills me because I'm like, did she actually get hurt there? And so one, I just feel really sorry and I feel really bad and guilty and stuff. And I know that that's not, like, I have no part in it and whatever, but I'm not someone to kick someone when they're down, type of thing. And I just feel really sad. I actually cried because this is where I'm like, I'm too soft for wrestling because I cry. I get really sad when people get hurt and, when they're especially with someone was on such a high rise to have to stop, obviously I wanted Rhea to lose the title eventually, but not due to an injury or like getting seriously hurt. So like I was crying. I felt like really, really bad. And so I just want people to know that one, I don't want people to actually get hurt. And you're right. It could have been like maybe in WrestleMania, she got hurt there and they're just kind of using this as a storyline or something. If that's the case, this is very cruel. This is very cruel. And I'm really soft and I get really sad and attached to the storyline and stuff. And so I was really, really down about that. I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to be more of like Liv and Rhea like battling each other. As far as like the hate towards Liv, I haven't seen too much of it because I don't follow I guess I don't follow too many people that maybe I don't follow the right people or something or like those kind of people or whatever. But I have, heard of it. And I think that that's where, that taking it too personal and taking it too serious comes into play in a more negative way, in a more unhealthy way. It's like, obviously it was probably an accident if the injury did occur at that point. But the thing is, we don't know when that injury even occurred. Did it occur there or did it occur at WrestleMania? We don't know really. And it could be fake or it could be like, it really was her wrist or something, like we just don't know. There were some reports that she has a sprain in her shoulder, but I don't know what to believe because even the wrestling format, the forums or what's the forums, especially on Twitter and stuff, they play into the K-pop too. So you don't really know if like what is real. So for me, I'm just going to watch what I say like more. I don't want to feel like I'm celebrating someone getting hurt or something like that. Just makes my heart break. It really does. And it made me really, really sad. It made me really, really upset. And I actually cried for Rhea, I really don't, y'all know, I don't care. I didn't care for her character, right? I was very upset and I wanted the Live Revenge tour, but not this way. Not like this. Okay.
Exactly.
Just to make that very clear. But yeah, I think moving forward, I'm going to close this chapter with Rhea. This one-sided beef, maybe it's both sides, who knows? One-sided beef with Rhea and her fans. And I'm just going to mind my business and wish her a very speedy recovery and enjoy your mans, your puppies, your dogs, and your life, just take this as a break, a vacation. And yeah, it sucks though. I couldn't imagine like being in that space. I'm so, like, I don't know how she didn't cry. Like I would be bawling.
Just tearing up, like thinking about Rhea relinquishing it. Sorry, I take wrestling very seriously, and I get
Me
like you,
too.
I get very emotional about it. I did tear up when I saw her relinquish the title, and then I teared up even more when I saw the "Thank You, Mommy" hashtag going. So I was like, wow, this like she's such a good character. You can feel her emotions, like you can feel the hate, you can feel the disdain, you can feel like that. Oh my god, I didn't do good enough. Like I could have done more to keep myself safe. I could have done this. I could have done that. So it's like you feel every emotion that she feels. And that's
Yeah.
what I love about her. Just as a character, just as a whole, just as a person. She's someone that you love to hate. And that's what I love about Mommy. You love to hate her. And it's great.
Yeah. There are some that love to love her, so you know. I think it was just very hard for me to get behind her character. She did a lot of things to my favorites. So but it's sad. It's still so sad. Like you don't want to see that, you know. So um one people, you know, something people are saying is that her pop is going to be amazing when she comes back. Because my girlfriend's like, she's gonna, because I was crying. My girlfriend's like, Jasmine, it's okay. Like this is a part of wrestling. It happens. And like people were like already reposting like Live Revenge Tour, and like I'm like, how can I be happy for Live? And you guys, I was number one in line for the Live Revenge Tour. Okay, I'm like, how can I be happy right now? Like I feel like it's so wrong to feel happy that someone got injured and they can't to compete, but it's part of the storyline. I'm like, but it's real. So I was like, I don't know how to actually feel. Like, I feel like I can't actually be happy for it because it's a real injury, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I was very confused about what to feel. But as I thought about it and stuff, I'm just kind of like, well, I'm just going to think of this as the storyline. I'm not going to make it like too personal and stuff like that. And just if they're both kind of playing into it, obviously they're friends and obviously they probably, you know, are not mad at each other and stuff. So I was, you know, I tried to like stick with my Live Revenge Tour, but deep down I'm like, I'm not super happy about it because she's actually injured. So I don't know. I'm very soft and it's hard for me to like feel happy for somebody or, you know, happy for something that actually hurt somebody. So
Mm-hmm.
it's such a weird space to be in. I don't know how to think. I don't know how to feel.
I feel it.
But yeah, she's gonna come back and she's gonna give us the feud we've been waiting for between
Mm-hmm.
her and Liv. I'm excited for that. Sorry, Rhea, get back, get better, and yeah, you know, good luck. I don't know what else to say.
We wish you a speedy recovery, Mommy, and we can't wait to see you back. Take all the time you need. Enjoy Buddy. Enjoy Bella, your new puppy. I know
Very
it's going
cute.
to be bittersweet for you, but just enjoy this time.